Hi, I'm Risa and I'm making you my mom's pot roast that she learned from my grandmother. It takes just a few ingredients. Everything I need is right here in front of me. I've got 2 chopped carrots, 2 chopped onions, a 3 to 4 pound chuck roast, a large beef broth, some onion soup mix, a small can of tomato sauce, Manischewitz matzo meal, and to serve it tomorrow, I'll be serving it over Manischewitz egg noodles. So to start, I'm going to saute the onions in a little bit of avocado oil. Once they become soft and a little brown, I'm going to add the pot roast. So for the next part, I'm going to get the meat ready to put it in with the onions. What I do is I salt and pepper both sides pretty generously. A little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of ground pepper. You can use less or more, it's up to you. And then I'm going to use Manischewitz matzo meal that I'm going to put onto the roast, and I'm going to pat it into the roast. This is going to help that gravy in the end get thicker. And now we're ready to put it in with the onions. So now I'm going to make a well in the middle of the onions. Now they've gotten a little softer, and I'm going to put the meat right in the center and let it brown. And now I'm going to turn the meat and make sure that it's browned on both sides. And that is fine for me. It's on top of the onions so that the matzo meal doesn't burn, so you're not going to get that hard crust on there because of that, like you would normally do with your brownie meat. And add the carrots. That's my 2 carrots that I just cut into rounds. Just place it around the meat. And this is the pan that my mom used. And then I'm going to sprinkle the onion soup mix. I know that's just the way she did it, so I have never deviated from that recipe. And I'm going to pour the beef broth over the top. And I want the beef broth to almost cover the pot roast. Now I'm going to lift it up briefly so that that broth can get underneath and that meat doesn't burn. Carefully, obviously. And I'm going to pour the rest of this broth in here. I'm going to bring it to a boil. And then once it boils, I'm going to lower it to a simmer. I'm going to put the cover on it, and I'm going to cook it an hour a pound, turning the meat every hour. And once it's fork tender, once the fork goes in easily, the meat is ready and the first part of this recipe is done. So now it's the next day, and I've taken this out of the fridge. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all of the fat from the top, and then I'm going to take the roast out, and now that it's cold, it's easier to slice. I'm going to slice it up, put it all back into the liquid, and then put it on the stove. I'm adding my small can of tomato sauce, and now I'm just going to bring this up to heat. Let it simmer for about an hour, and then it's ready. My mom's pot roast, served over Manischewitz egg noodles. This is what I make when I want my kids to come home. Enjoy it with your family.